whatever happens next week between your guys' game. But we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what teams bring to the table, if Reason can adjust from the mistakes they made in last game and fight their way back into this matchup. And we start with very similar bands: Midas, Warbeast, Parallax, and Solomon.
Tundra.
Which leaves open Tundra and Ophelia. Is this another case of let's take the Ophelia so that Hellborn doesn't get it, or does Archtiger feel pretty comfortable on the hero?
Tiger feels very comfortable on Ophelia for sure. I think it's also a top tier hero right now, also with the extra buffs that they got here. As of late, it should be, as it was before, one of the best heroes in the game. And Tundra coming out here, the issue with Tundra is that, I mean, it's good with deep push and all, but you want to pick off people by utilizing the bird. And if you're against the push lineup, you obviously can't do that, and the effect of your hero kind of diminishes. But it also has the advantage of you can block the big camps with the bird at level 1, so you can do that and actually annoy Ophelia a lot with that. Wow, Hellbringer coming out. We've seen Fuzzesot do that, but usually when they pick him up, they're guaranteed to have a 1 versus 1 in the mid lane, and this game they might not be guaranteed to have that.
Yeah, I mean, hands down, one of the greatest initiators in the game. Such an iconic hero. And if he ends up finding his way to a Restoration Stone, it's just that much more of a problem to deal with in the later stages of the game. I'm a big fan of the hero. So it's good to see the pickup here, but they do third pick the Wild Soul, which means if they want to ban out like a Salforce or something, they can easily do that now, or ban out any kind of counters to the Wild Soul. But Complexity coming guns ablaze. They're not going the BMG with a fun strat for game 2. I mean, they're not taking any chances.
Oh, I will say that if you lose all 5 heroes in a fight where Wild Soul survives and the Malphas is up, you're gonna lose buildings or racks or towers. So gotta be careful of that, because those 2 heroes can push.
That they can. And let's see if you're a Legion side and you see those 3 heroes picked. I mean, what's on the table? Is there any counter picks left at all to go for?
Usually against Wild Soul you go for the Lodestone or the Lodestone Forest. Very strong heroes with the ultimate. Against them you need to hit just either of them, and I think both heroes are still up, so I'm not sure why Formless is banning Pebbles and Prisoner. I guess it's because he wants to give Hellbringer a really good time in the mid lane, but as a result of that, Wild Soul might not have a good game if he doesn't ban Forest and Lodestone. Both heroes are up, so I expect Reason Gaming to pick either of those.
Yeah, I mean they would have to run one of them in like a suicide role, but I mean that's still possible.
You can... or mid, or Magma's Suicides, use Sulfuris mid. I mean, there are options, yeah. And Sulfuris can definitely kill the Hellbringer in the mid lane by 1 assistance from Ophelia Minotaur, Skeleton King, something like that, or maybe even a support running behind with a smoke and stunning like an Andromeda or something. So definitely can make something happen with that.
So Time to Die is going to ban out the Uki, as if Hellborn would pick that greedy. I don't see it happening, but...
Formless bans Lodestone, but Sulfuris is up, so they should really pick Sulfuris here on Recent Gaming side. But I'm not sure if they are most comfortable running him in the jungle, and they already have Ophelia, so maybe they don't want to pick him. They already have Malikan as carry, but I feel like they kind of have to pick him and run him mid, because it just counters the Wild Soul so well.
At the same time, it almost feels like if they take the Salforce, it's almost like Complexity let them. You know what I mean? Like Complexity is like, go ahead, take Salforce. We know you're going to, since we didn't ban him, and we definitely could have. So I feel like they might have somehow had an answer for this, but
yeah, but you can't really counter the ulti on Wild Soul. Like if you put that Undying on him, he's not gonna regen and he will die. So I will agree that Lodestone is definitely stronger against Wild Soul than Sulfuris is.
Yeah, and he brings a ton to the table too, other than just being good against Wild Soul. Sulfuris, he's kind of that. He's great to run up in the middle of the fight and absorb a lot of damage, but you already have a Malikan. It feels like just I don't know if he would fit as well on this team as the Lodestone would have. So
yeah, sure. But sometimes it's the same thing as you pick a Oliphant against a Parasite, for instance, or Ophelia at times, or something where you counter another hero, because on itself the hero is weak. So sometimes you can pick a hero that simply doesn't do that well in the lineup, but simply counters your opponents enough to a point where it's good enough,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
And especially right now, I guess that would make sense because Wild Soul is the heart and soul of the draft. They haven't picked a secondary carry or anything like that yet. So, I mean, they still have a pick left. I guess maybe they were waiting to see what comes up here.
Yeah, could be. But it seems I can understand that they don't want to go for forest because he has to solo mid. If they want to dual mid and make life hell for Hellbringer, uh, then that's definitely an option.
So, we're going to see the Dr. Repulsor. Is this a greedy lineup a little bit? It's pretty. A couple of heroes there that definitely need some
Definitely
farm.
is. It is greedy because they have no real way of supporting each other. I mean, if Hellbringer gets ganked, who's gonna save him? No one really. If Doctor gets ganked, who's gonna? No one. If Wildsoul gets ganked in the jungle, who's gonna? That's really nothing to do until they hit level 6. And Tundra gets an ultimate, Hellbringer gets his, and Doctor can fly in and actually do something. So it's very greedy early on, but as soon as they hit level 6, they have a strong team.
That they do. So, it's all going to come down here to Legion's side. Then they go with the Pharaoh. Like you said, they love that hero, so it makes sense. But I mean, to me, I almost say why not like a flex or something to combo with the engineer Magnus and really get some team
Yeah,
fight, something scary that if Hellborn comes knocking on your door at 15 minutes again, you got
yeah.
something ace in the pocket to make a comeback. But the Pharaoh again, it's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing that Pharaoh does well is he snipes out that bird with the rocket, so he can do that for a lot of the times. But in the team fights, he's kind of a hero that likes prolonged team fights, and so does Wild Soul. And you don't want to have prolonged team fights. You want to instantly burst down those heroes. You don't want to, keep fighting too much. Ophelia is also a kind of hero that loves prolonged team fights because they do so well in them with the heal and with the minions dealing damage over time. So I'm just not sure that they can afford to do that against Wild Soul, Doctor, and Hellbringer in this game. So gonna be interesting to see. I don't think they can punish them that much with the Pharaoh pickup, unfortunately. We talked about they need level 6 on Hellpoint before they really start shining. Uh, but maybe Archie can make some ganks happen. That can put them ahead before they hit level 6, and they can take a really early lead.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for here. They didn't want to pick a hero and say, "All right, we'll take you in the late game," because obviously I don't think they feel that confident going against complexity 50 minutes in, especially, Wild Soul. We talk about the 12 slots and potential, even though it very rarely gets filled. But I mean, it is. He's a hero that's really mean the later the game gets, and even Doctor too. So maybe this is their
Sure.
chance. Come through early.
Looks like they're gonna do the engineer, Magnus and Ophelia offensive tri-lane here, so that's definitely interesting. I kind of like this idea because I think Malikan's gonna do quite well against Tundra, especially when he gets to level 3 and has level 2 of that Sword of the Damned. Definitely out damages the Tundra, so he should do really well down there. The only issue I have is they're gonna give Hellbringer complete free for him. He's kind of the hero that's easy to gank. Um, but at the same time, they might know that, so they could expect them to ward up a lot for them and then simply go for the Doctor because he's also easy to gank if you get behind with, per se, a Minotaur or anything. And it doesn't look like Complexity is expecting this. So this is looking pretty good. They put a ref down because last time recent gaming's lanes were kind of red. And Engineer unfortunately shows himself here, so they know what's up, but it might be too late for them to do any kind of rotations.
Yes, that is the case. And is Wild Soul going to be pulling with his bear? Yeah, it looks like he will.
Ooh, that avoid from Love there almost gets a 2-for-1, but 0 in this case.
Oh
Puts a
wow,
void
you're
down.
right.
Yeah. It's really good from recent gaming. They get the counter void if that camp spawns.
Nice
They
keg
have
there.
this. And it does. Oh, we took the wrong creep.
No, are you kidding me? What a blunder there.
Can happen to the best of us, I guess. But yeah, gonna wait 18 seconds. He can stack it, and then maybe he gets a vulture and he can kill everything. That could help him.
Okay.
So So maybe it's gonna work out for the better. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, it's not the end of the
So,
world. I forgot. I'm thinking
you
it's like
could
a.
use this up here to just go in and mana burn Doctor. It's not that bad of a creep. So it looks like he's going in here. Actually, probably will get the mana drain off. But already Prophet is rotating mid to make sure that Hellbringer is gonna free farm, because this top lane is not something he can be effective in and turn for the better for them. So good rotation from him already, being in the mid lane. And what you got starting off in Hellborn jungle?
Hell, but wait. Legion side paused it.
Yeah, can always blame what you got, I guess.
That copy pasta
Typical
about
big
pauses.
pauses.
Oh man, yeah. Honcast needs a pause emote. They do.
Yep.
I'm about to get Frankerface Z to make one. Just for when I do Scrimcast, because I mean it's unbelievable. There's so many pauses. It's.
Yep. Resident Sleep are coming out here.
So the Shiver, does it always only have 100 HP, or does it gain more HP as the game
I think it goes up to 200. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it goes to 200. It definitely has lower HP at level 1 compared to level 4.
But will
But it's not a lot.
will
The Tormented Soul one-shots it. Yeah.
Okay, at max level. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's 200 exactly, and it has no magic armor, so it just dies.
Nice. There we go, and he does sacrifice that creep, and he's gonna be able to grab a new one here.
They could dive with the Vagabond, send it behind the tower. You could just go deep, let the Vagabond tank, and go in.
He took
Also
over.
just stun him.
Man.
Go Magnus. Oh my. That's an opportunity right there. Cyrex could have went for Doctor. That's a free kill. Can still go.
Here we go.
There we go.
Lava Surge onto Dr. Pulsar. Kexstun's going to connect. Catman Champion comes in with the Q spell, putting out decent damage. Ophelia takes a little bit from the magnetic contraption, but that's the Bloodlust kill as called by Nier. I think they heard you, man. They're like, all right, let's just go. Let's take it.
They had him. They had him a couple times there, but yeah, finally they get him, and that's a good start there. 1k lead so far. And this is what we're talking about. When they're not level 6, they can't react so fast. So start building the lead here, and that's what they're doing. So it's great to see.
Yeah, Zephyron's definitely doing slightly better than Tundra here, and Oscar will go toe-to-toe with the best of them here, so
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to him in that sense. They're doing well everywhere. Even Pharaoh's getting decent experience here in the middle lane where, you know, he should be boxed out, but he's doing pretty damn good. 280.
Yeah. The thing about Doctor is he can easily go jungle, and this is what he's doing, so good heads up from him, getting his farm that way. But they should pick up on that, NG, and say, okay, no one, he did TP top to farm that wave, so where can he be right now? He's not bottom, he's not mid, he's probably farming his own jungle, so they should rotate over there with a feeder and engineer, and just leave Magnus alone up here to free farm.
It's like they might be coming here for Hellbringer. For a second, it appeared that way. I think Doctor just scouted Ophelia, though. Or did she? Engineer will find Dr. Repulsor here. Puts out the turret. Gets minimal of impact on it. It does hit the keg slightly. And here comes the Ophelia's judgment to slow him down. Or the Nature's Wrath, rather. Yeah, I mean, no, they're definitely aware of him in the jungle at this point now, so...
Yeah. They should just keep farming together, Ophelia and Engineer, because he's not gonna come back top. Magnus is gonna have a really quick portal key like this. It's not a Pebbles per se, but you can still do
Bottom
fine.
lane, Tundra has the support of Prophet, but the sword throw. Malikan here with the escape method, able to get out of the sticky situation.
Yeah. I think Engineer spotted Doctor on the Void here, so they should know he's out, and that frees up a ganking room or time space here to gank the Hellbringer.
Magnus is going to get some nice farming experience here.
Yep.
That'll be super useful for them to, if he gets there before, again, they're focusing on Malikan down here a lot. They do harass him out of the lane a bit, but here comes the Hellbringer in the middle lane, taking pressure. He gets a nice Demon Strike off, but he's going to get caught in the Mummy Wall. Unfortunately, the Minotaur gets locked out of the way, but they're still able to collapse there. So, if anything, you said Fuzzy free farm while they're addressing that situation too. This is a completely different reason than we saw last game.
Yeah, well played. And Pharaoh gets the Invis top, so Architect really making some good jobs here early on. And I like that he skills the Q, Nature's Wrath, because with the W, that would not have been a kill on Hellbringer, I think, with the extra damage he takes on top of the slow. So, nice play. And he's gonna rotate to his own jungle now.
Yeah, maybe put a damper on Wild Soul here. And I'll normally say, I mean, Wild Soul's usually when played by what you got, Wild Soul. I don't know if he's had bad creeps or it's just the fact that he's in the jungle. Engineer is trying to set something up here. The turret's going to put a little bit of a slow here. Follow up with the keg stun and the sword throw. Malikan doing his best to get in front for the body block. Not even necessary. They're going to finish off what you got here. And Reason Gaming up 3-0 here.
Yep.
And top lane was... Okay, nothing. Always confuse me when those little heads pop up.
Yeah, a lot of great rotations from both sides, honestly. Just the rotations from Reason gives kills. The rotations from Hellborn is more to try and survive early on here and get levels. And we see Lava's coming back top now that Magnus is alone here. It's definitely the right choice. But well played from Archie Tiger and Hanks on the engineer here so far.
Yeah.
Making some kills happen for the team.
Huge,
good start.
Huge plays, and if anything, you know, restoring the confidence in Reason Gaming. You can see they're playing with more
Malikan.
Passion here. Exactly. Malikan throws the sword throw here, activating the demonic presence. A nice cold shoulder to dodge the keg stun, but again, activating the health potion. He just can't deal with it right now. 3 heroes collapsing on him again. Magnus got jumped on top with the steam boots in level 6. He's not an easy to kill target either.
Oh, here comes Pharaoh. Ooh, but they see him. That's unfortunate.
Oh, he does walk right by Love's Revelation Ward. And we'll see if they can use that to their advantage here. Maybe look weak and make a big play, because Hellbringer did hit level 6. He doesn't have a TP yet, though.
Here comes 4th person up top. Level 5 Tundra, though. They're all level 5. That's
the Mummy Wall's going to come here. Onto Wild Soul. Nice double stun here by Magnus. He's going to lock down, try to get the Eruption off. Interrupted by the Prophet's debilitate ability. And now Magnus is going to have to fall back. At the same time, if the only one they lose is a Magnus, I guess that's kind of okay for a 4-man rotation. The Malphus is going to be used here onto Pharaoh. Can he use his ultimate to buy himself a little bit of space? He tries, but yeah, Fuzzy always puts all his points into the demonic wave, and that's just serious damage to deal with.
Yeah. So had that eruption gone off, if Love was not in range to cancel that, that would have been completely different. But good plays from Complexity, and here they hit 6, all of them, and this is where their lineup shines again.
So that is the truth. I mean, now they have the ultimate, and as soon as Doctor hits 6 again, yeah, he's going to be able to be jumping around in fights too, and Complexity is usually good at picking their team fights that they can win.
Yep.
At the same time, though, Legion side is doing fairly well. I mean, you got the level 6 on Pharaoh too. Had that Rev Ward not been there, it could have been, again, completely different. So wouldn't cut them out just yet, and they take a free tower bottom. So it's Insanitarius or Whispering Helm onto Malikan. Not sure which yet.
I think he's gonna go Whispering Helm, but Insanitarius is definitely not out of the question. But I think with the farm he has, he wants to go for big items. So start off with the Whispering Helm, and then works toward the Shrunken, and then go from there into big items.
Do they want to wait? I mean, I guess it's already hard. I mean, they had some momentum going, but it's hard to push into the Hellbringer, I guess.
I don't think you have to rush anything.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they have the Malikan free farming. It's definitely a tough lineup from Hellborn to go late game against, but Cyrex is having a good game so far, and he's still farming top. So seeing as he's farming and Pharaoh's doing decently, and Malikan is basically free farming, and they have a feeler farming, I don't think they feel rushed, and I don't think they should. I think they can afford to wait a bit, wait for the Astrolabe and Ophelia, wait for the Whispering Hill Malikan, maybe a Mighty Blade, and then start to force the issue in the mid lane if they want to gank the Hellbringer, and then transition that into an objective in a tower kill.
Definitely see if they can do that. I think that is a common mistake I make. I look at teams and I just automatically assume, because of the heroes, 2 carries stronger than 1, you would have to rush in and win the game
Mid lane.
with 30 minutes. That is a nice Pharaoh ulti to follow up the Ophelia creep stuns. They're going to burst down Hellbringer here before he can get a single ability off. Malphus was up in 3 seconds too. Pretty bad. Ophelia's going to use her ultimate here to try to keep Pharaoh alive. Is there anybody else from the Legion team around? It doesn't look like it, so Complexity going to capitalize here and take 2 for 1.
Yeah. This is a really good gank though, but they need to be 5 when they do this so they can set up and the TP's coming in. And I think when you dive this far, it might be a little bit too early to do so. Because if nothing else, they want Engineer to be level 6 as well. So the TPs that point in, they simply get silenced into an energy field or something like that. So I think they did this a bit too early and a bit too deep, but 2 for 1 is not too bad.
Uh-oh, TP coming in mid. Magnus goes in deep. Right onto the magnetic contraption here. Pharaoh with the mummy wall, unfortunately pushing Wild Soul away. And Oscar still gets credit for the tower with that coral.
I think that coL actually got the last hit, so that's pretty impressive. They do get the boo-boo, and what you got is going for the late game with the Alchemist Bones. So, yeah. I mean, recent gaming is a bit on the clock, but I still think they need to get their core items first. Get their Blink on Magnus, get their Astrolabe, and then start doing something.
So don't be, like, incredibly passive, but don't overly rush it. I get it. I mean, there's a delicate balance in everything here.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely makes sense to me when you put it that way. The Alchemist Bones, too, I mean, can take out Ophelia creeps, obviously. A positive. Oh, Haste Rune killed by love.
Yep, that coL scouting everything here. Or Shiver.
And it is, and it does have 200 HP. Pharaoh got 4 points of the Tormented Soul, so I mean, he has the potential to start sniping it, but if played correctly, you almost never know where the Shiver is.
Yeah. I think it's too powerful, honestly. That's my opinion. That Shiver. I feel like there should, when you kill the bird, there should be a downtime on it that starts when the bird dies, because you can constantly keep it up. Even if they kill it now, he has it ready to just spawn a new one. So I think it's too OP, but that's just my opinion.
That's a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of cooldowns that work in that way.
Yep.
So
Monarch, for instance. So with the E at least, a different. Yeah.
Magnus is nearing his portal key. Of course, that is Complexity's signal to go and put a damper on him. Here comes the Tundra ultimate, gonna lock him down. And Ophelia ult trying to keep him alive. He gets a decent eruption off. Oh, the lava surge rather, but the eruption is gonna be interrupted. Here comes Malakin, though, getting in the mix, and Wild Soul's going to lock down by the Pharaoh ultimate, so that's going to be a nice kill onto Wild Soul. Tundra's hiding off in the distance here. He was able to buy a portal key and get over to safety. And again, PKing out there.
Yeah. Good response there from Legion. I mean, they have long-range catch, so if Pharaoh TP's in, he can be there instantly. And Malakin with sword throw, also kind of the same stuff, so...
Yeah, it's nice to see the carry being able to get in the mix really quick like that. I mean, he was in there blink of an eye, hitting damage, but, you know, if it surprises us, it surprises Complexity in the spectator position. But the downside is, of course, Magnus. Anytime you get near the portal key, it seems like on any hero, smart teams will just push it and push it later and later.
Yep, that's what they're doing here. They still need 700 more. Looks like he's gonna try and farm at bottom, but Doctor is nearby, so if one more rotates over, that could be a dead killing or a killing Magnus again.
Doctor has recovered pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as Ophelia rotated bottom, he started his recovery, and that was pretty early in the game, so he's doing quite fine for himself now. And it's scary that they have 4 heroes that are doing so well, but at the same time, Legion does have the top farmer in the game in Malakin. And looks like he's going in Sanitarius, so he's really banking on these early game fights, which I can definitely respect. He's going for that kind of build.
Yeah, so Complexity with a little bit of a gold lead, and honestly, it's even more than it seems, because they've lost 3 of their towers and they've only taken 1. So I usually say it's about 1,000 per, so it's almost like the potential for like a 4K gold lead, but
that Wild Soul factor simply farms so fast.
So they do have the Astrolabe being delivered to Ophelia right now, Yes, she did complete that. And hopefully Engineer can get level 6, because the energy field is pretty huge in team fights.
It is, and I hope he can here in the near future. Maybe get it mid here. If he decides to stay, I think he should just try and get the level 6.
Magnus did finish his portal key here, and he's trying to get himself in a little bit of a position. We see Malikan rotating into the bottom lane.
Pharaoh has to be careful. The
Both
sees
teams
the
setting
tower.
up here. Pharaoh is going to get knocked down. Here comes the Malphus ultimate. Ophelia ult keeping him alive, and he's going to use his ultimate to try to put a little bit of space. The demonic strike, though, on top of the wave, just too much for him to handle. I saw Hellborn was trying to... Legion was trying to set up in bottom lane, too, but they backed off here, so...
Yeah, Magnus actually initiated with the Eruption Lava Surge, but Darkness simply flew away before he jumped in with the PK, and just heads up play for Formless, expecting something coming. But this is kind of the timing I was talking about. They have the Astrolabe now, and Malikan has the Incendiarius as well. Magnus has the portal key, so this is where they should go. Engineers level 6. This is a good time to fight.
Definitely the time is right, though, I will say. Complexity has a strange way of just not fighting. They will avoid
they're really
it.
good at dodging. Yeah.
Really good at dodging.
They know how to do that. If they pick greedy, they know how to dodge and then wait until with fighting until they know they can win the fights.
Yeah, and you put it that way too. This is almost like a role reversal here. Both they swapped Legion and Hellborn, and they're playing very similar lineups, and you can see how one team would deal with this pressure that Legion team will be putting on them soon.
Sure. And I mean, I know it's a wild soul fact, but usually we don't talk too much about creep kills and stuff like that. But like usually we check the gold per minute.
Yeah.
But if we look at the creep kills, I mean, Hellboy is just killing so many more creeps, and they're just out farming the Legion side. So they really have to make fights happen in order to stay relevant in the game. Yeah.
Well, they've got one aggressive ward up. I don't know when NG got it down, but there is one somewhat close to the 2 tower up at top. And, I mean, Hellbringer's ult's down for 40 seconds. I don't know if they're keeping tabs on that, but, I mean, that's got to be, it's got to be important for them to know when, okay, now's the time to take a team fight. There's no better time than now with their items levels kind of coming together. All they need is a place to make it happen.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Look at Complexity just split pushing. Oscar's top, Darkbloods bottom. They try kind of to be mid. And then at the same time, Pharaoh and Magnus are trying to find a kill, but Complexity are just so good at dodging, and they're just wasting their time, honestly. So keep their lead increasing.
Is on top of a ward here. If Pharaoh can get a jump,
they should get a jump on that guy for sure. It's close to the tier 2s, and Malikan, he is actually nearby, so surprised they didn't go for it.
I think the bear was in the way a little bit, so Pharaoh. But by the time Pharaoh tried to get on the
Magnus was to the left of him, like he had a blink stun range.
Right, you're right. This Magnus, I want to say I'd love to see the Pharaoh going first. That way the Magnus can get off a nice eruption. But sometimes you do just have to just go in with a stun. It's not all about like the big combo.
He was farming and he could see the creeps dying. Like he knew how much time he had, so he could do it. And then while he is stunned and slowed, I think Pharaoh could maybe find the time to catch up and get that wrath off. But yeah, they don't do it. Play it safe, and now they're going for the push. But already look at mid lane, look at bottom. They're pushing in, so
yeah.
Lexi is doing a nice job, and they're actually going for Conqueror. Nice rocket to scout it out, so they know it's happening. And I think it looks like they're rocking over, but that just buys even more time for Complexity. Now they stop them from pushing top, and they just run around again.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of indecisive right now, and it's definitely hurting them. Pharaoh's got a double damage. You could tell that he's looking for an opening, but again,
look at the voids from Complexity as well. Just spotting on the top hill and on the bottom there. So they see everything that Recent Gaming is doing.
There goes. Finally, the Rev Ward dropped down by NG here.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
They get the tier 2 top. I mean, if the one way to force a team fight, even though ultimately you're going to lose, to a split push bottom lane, looks like Pharaoh's jumping onto the Wild Soul here. I mean, it's
Good job.
definitely a dead wild soul, but the Hellborn team's looking to rotate. Like, they might counter-initiate here.
Yeah. That's what you should do. You know, you try and push and you show like 3-4 heroes, and then one guy is not showing. Of course, that's the initiator who TPs back, finds the kill onto the guy who's TPing, and then the rest TP in. And they get a kill there. Pharaoh staying too long, Mo, maybe.
A little bit of trouble here. He's going to get jumped down here. The rest of the Hellborn team will collapse. That's a dead Pharaoh. And I mean, the gold lead is just getting further and further in favor of complexity. And if you know that's happening, is it like a terrible idea to just group up, try to force a team fight at top tower, like pressure the base?
I think it's too early to pressure base, but you could, I mean, if you want to force a fight, Congo is the way to go, right? So,
Right.
of course, they're Legion and it's harder, but I think they could. I mean, top is pushed out, mid is kind of almost pushed out.
Dr. Repulsor held in place by 2 Skeleton Kings, staggering those stuns beautifully. Is Legion. That was not an easy kill. They get him here. So Kongor could be the
this
ticket
is a
for them.
Kongor attempt now. At least try and force a buyback or something, or push in mid and get that tier 2 first. That could be an option. But at the same time, they have Malikan still top farm of the game. He's saying, okay guys, I'm 550 GPM, I'm doing well. I'd carry this, I can farm this to a victory. So
here comes the Pharaoh ultimate. Wow, that's a huge mummy wall. Hellbringer gonna tablet himself out, but Tundra left behind, taking heavy damage. The puzzle box minions putting pretty big pressure on him. Hellbringer will likely fall here. Just kidding. Lifesteal coming out from that E ability.
Oh! Just
Ooh,
gets taken
sword
out
throw.
there with the sword for a nice snipe. That was like 0.1 seconds away from TPing out, so really close, and out of a sudden that exchange is worth it.
And that was pretty good. I mean, considering Pharaoh initiated onto 2, that Reason was able to kind of recover that team fight here. And Magnus didn't even use his ultimate there. It was on cooldown, so.
Yep. But again, the split push continues. Oscar pushing in top. That tier 2 is gonna fall soon. Formless is bottom. What you got farming their own jungle, cleaning that up, and Prophet simply giving more vision.
Wow. Did you see that?
No.
Pharaoh shot a rocket that was going to hit Tundra for sure. And Tundra saw the rocket coming with a shiver. Just PK'd out. I mean, Oscar would have been dead, guaranteed.
Nice heads up. Good reactions. Yeah.
And that shiver.
Oh, he'll bring him in. Nice to feel a micro.
Will miss the keg here. The energy field coming out. Kind of locking Dr. Repulsor in place a little bit, but as long as he doesn't cross the field, he's perfectly fine staying in there. Now Ophelia's creeps are taking a lot of pressure. Looks like they will eventually live. Also, Magnus tried to ult down bottom on I don't know who it was, I forget. But yeah, he used it. He didn't get the kill either.
Right. Looks like Reason's gonna try and do some kind of push here, try and find complexity, but already dark at bottom, Wild Soul Ancients.
The split push is so hard to really deal with, man. It's like when you're
They do have
watching
good
it.
heroes though. Wrath of the Pharaoh can catch from such a long distance. They have Magnus as well, but you gotta see your opponents first. And I feel like a couple times when they see them, they're kind of indecisive of going on them, as we spoke about with the Wild Soul before, who was farming their own hard camp, and they had vision of him, but they never really went in.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a matter of confidence. Here comes, the line stun onto Prophet, but here comes the Malphus to keep him alive. Magnus with getting healed by the Ophelia, but Dr. Repulsor coming to join the party. Malikan in the middle, going back and forth here, trying to do what he can, but it's apparently with the shrunken head, he's just being ignored, so not getting that increased attack speed effect. Now he's going to TP out, but again, he's going to get interrupted. That was kind of hard to tell what was going on there, I'm going to be honest, but it definitely didn't turn out well for Reason Gaming at the end of the day.
Oh, Malikan was kind of tearing through people, killed the Prophet and the Tundra really quick, but his own team kind of melted to the Wild Soul, and the Hillbring ultimate on top of the Doctor jumping around, so well played from complexity, and this is kind of the trend, I think, that if you pick 4 heroes, you have 4 heroes farming, usually beats that one hard carry.
and Hellborn team will attempt to take Kongor here. Got to give this token to Doctor.
Yeah. I think at this point, if they want to win fights, they need to get another damage item on Malikan. I'm not sure if Rift Shards is the way to go, but they need raw damage because they are not simply. He's not killing Hellborn. Hellborn team as fast as Hellborn is killing his own team, so he needs damage, and gotta go for that kind of build now.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any big energy field or Magnus ultimates either.
No, that's true. He's tried a couple times, but always gets interrupted. So hopefully next fight he can get a huge one of those that could definitely help and turn the game for them. Wrath of the Pharaoh did also miss in that fight, so that's also an issue. Couple missed abilities here and there.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this team fight that has to kind of all line up if Reason Gaming wants to come out on top. Complexity feels like, it feels like they've got less team fight potential, but Hellbringer Ultimate's so much easier to land. It's like...
Yeah, you can't really miss that one.
Yeah.
That's hard at least. Oh, they find Wild Soul here. Ooh, the boo-boo. Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's already so fast and so tanky. Engineer, oh my goodness. He will actually get away. Tundra really overextended here. Legion's starting to collapse on him, but again, he senses something's going on here. Oh, Hellflower activated on the Magnus. They're going to burst him down so fast. Ophelia does get her heal off, but some lingering effect preventing him from lava surging away there.
Yeah. I think it was the Hellflower still active. I'm not too sure. I was a bit afraid of them actually stacking Hellflower, the W from Doctor, and the Tundra ultimate, but at the same time they just wanted to kill him fast and get out because support was coming in. So almost gets out. If he could stun one in return there, I think they could have maybe turned that fight, but wasn't meant to be. Magnus goes down and Complexity further increasing the lead.
Yeah, the game in terms of kills, it looks so close, but like you said, the creep kill count, it's just insane how far ahead they've pulled here. And now they're going to pressure the base. Dr. Repulsor with the token, I'm not sure how Reason could even deal with him.
No. This is kind of like, what if they didn't have Pharaoh? I know it's easy to say now again, but I also commented through the banning on draft phase, and they could have picked Sulfurious. What if they had a 400 GPM or 450 GPM Sulfurious right now? Could be doing more work than the Pharaoh for sure. They could compete here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm not sure what the logic behind the Pharaoh was so much, but they made this team, so they've decided it, and they're gonna have to make some type of play here.
For sure. Malikan is still a threat, but he is lacking a bit of damage, but he can still kill people.
Magnus does get a nice double stun here. Lava Surge, the Malikan's sword throw does heavy damage, but again, Malikan just gets shredded down here. Locked down through the shrunken head with that superior stun from Tundra. He does use a buyback, and he's going to try to set something up here, but again, oh, he does not get the shrunken head off. He's going to get bursted down. He finally gets the shrunken head off. We see massive lifesteal coming out. He will get a kill onto them, and now Dr. Repulsor, though, still alive and has not even expired the token yet. I just think the Legion didn't really pick a single target to focus on there. We saw a lot of Hellborn drop pretty low. That's going to do it. I guess Legion team's throwing in the towel here, and Complexity will move on.
Yep. Well played. That's they simply just dodged the ganks and bought the time they needed, kind of reversed the roles of the previous games, and did very well here, and farmed a lot, and then they took the fight to Reason and pushed their base when they felt like they had the items they needed, and it's just well played from Complexity.
Oh, if nothing else, a cold lesson for Reason. They can look back on this game and see maybe what they could have done differently, because it was a prime example of, like you said, just complete role reversal here, but Complexity being able to outplay them here. So they will move on, and they will be facing Bad Monkey Gaming in the finals for the losers bracket. I'm not sure if it spreads out again Yeah, that must, because whoever loses your game will face the winner of that game,
Yeah.
and then that's the last chance to come back
So
into
they
it.
play BMG, and then the winner goes on, and I think, yeah.
Yep. Well then, so Complexity keeping their hopes and dreams of making it to Thailand alive, and giving us a good show here today, and definitely earlier today, Bad Monkey Gaming and Polymorph, it was a stunning sight to see. So I want to thank
Yeah.
all the teams that played today, and wish you guys luck moving forward. I guess other than that, I mean, there's not much else to go over. I did want to watch the replay of that first game. Probably do that in a little bit, but I see no reason unless you want to hang out. If
Uh, yeah, I mean, I have nothing more to add, so I think I'll just head out there and yeah, call it a cast here.
Yes,
That's a lot of fun. Good
absolutely,
games.
Nira. It's such a pleasure to have you on here. I can't state that enough here. But other than that, if you have any of the shout outs or anything you want to say to the community here, they're all ears.
I shout out to my team, and that's it for me for now. Gonna wait with the big speeches to the finals.
Keeping it classy, I like that. Seeing what arrogance could almost do, almost took a little notch off of BMG's shoulder today. So I definitely appreciate that, man. Best of luck going forward next weekend. Wish you guys all the best.
Yeah,
And
thank you a lot.
take care, man.
Yep, see ya.
All right, and for everybody out there in the Honcast chat, stay tuned if you want for just a second. I'm going to be loading up the replay just to get a glimpse at how close that base race was at the end of BMG's game. But other than that, if not, if you're ready to head out, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the support, and hope you guys did enjoy the series today. Make sure you tune in next week where it gets tighter and tighter and the matches get more and more intense as opportunities to win get fewer and far between, as people are going to be trying harder, right? So that being said, let me load up the public match here, download the replay, and we'll take a quick gander.